Tyre Nichols traffic stop in Memphis is reminiscent of Rodney King beating. Lawyer says after seeing the video, 5 black police officers, were fired after an investigation found they violated multiple department policies during the stop, including rules about the use of force. The Rodney King beating was one of the first, if not the first, video that actually forced the whole country to see with their own two eyes that police brutality in black neighborhoods and neighborhoods where there are people of color is very real, which lit the fire under the LAPD for police reform to hire more black officers. 32 years later, we revisit that same atrocity where there's black officers who beat this man so bad he ended up dying as a result of his injuries. Tyre Nichols was the victim of an unadulterated, unabashed, non-stop beating reminiscent to the brutality Rodney King suffered at the hands of the police officers. Attorneys representing the man's family said Monday after having seen video of the police encounter that happened days before Nichols died. Nichols, 29, was hospitalized and died 3 days after Memphis, Tennessee police officers stopped him on January 7th. 5 officers involved in the stop were fired Friday after an administrative investigation found they violated department policies, Police Chief C.J. Davis said in a statement. Being fired off the force should be automatic. I want to hear about some criminal charges. Snatching pensions and handing out prison time. Too often in these cases of wrongful death and police brutality at the hands of law enforcement, they try to throw in a few badges to pass it off as being satisfactory. Attorneys Benjamin Crump and Antonio Romanucci, who are representing Nichols' family, said they could not offer many details of the video after having viewed it with city officials. At a news conference Monday, Romanucci described it as an unadulterated, unabashed, non-stop beating for 3 minutes. There were multiple uses of force. This is 3 minutes by 5 cops. Multiple uses of force, Romanucci said. That's what we can say. Crump told reporters that it reminded him of the Rodney King video, referring to the 1991 bystander video of Los Angeles police officers beating a black man. There's absolutely no reason one person should be sustaining life-threatening injuries at the hands of 5 trained police officers if their intention, keyword, if their intention is to subdue and detain him. Now, if these guys just wanted to beat him for whatever reason, you can pick it out of a hat. That puzzle piece fits. What we can tell you about the video, it is appalling, it is deplorable, it is heinous, violent, Crump said, and it's very troublesome on every level because you have to ask yourself, yet again, we're seeing evidence of what happens to black and brown people from simple traffic stops. Ravon Wells, Nichols' mother, was visibly and audibly upset at a news conference after having viewed the video. And for the officers out there across the country who just want to be good cops and are truly trying to change the landscape of law enforcement, this doesn't help them one bit. Not at all. Because now with every traffic stop, somebody is going to be thinking that they don't want this to be their story. All my son was trying to do was get home. He was 2 minutes from the house when they stopped him, she said. He was less than 80 yards away when they murdered him. Yes, I said murder, because when I walked into that hospital room, my son was already dead. Shelby County District Attorney Steve Mulroy said he expected video in the case to be released to the public this week or next. Even without seeing this video, I can think back to how savagely and brutally they beat Rodney King. Almost looked like they were having a good time, but he survived. For Tyre Nichols, this had to be nothing short of horrific for them to beat him so badly he died as a result of his injuries. Police said in an initial statement after the January 7th stop that Nichols had been pulled over for reckless driving and ran away, and that a confrontation occurred when officers tried to detain him. Nichols complained of having shortness of breath and was taken to the hospital in critical condition. A cause of death has not been released. A photo provided by his stepfather, Rodney Wells, showed Nichols in the hospital with blood on his face and what appeared to be a swollen eye. His mother said Monday that he was placed on a breathing machine. There were already discrepancies in their stories, because you might take him to the hospital for shortness of breath, okay, but why does he look like he's been beaten? Nichols' case is being investigated by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations and the U.S. Justice Department, which announced it was launching a civil rights inquiry. I want to hear about some criminal charges. I want to hear about some prison time. Officials identified the officers Friday as Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, Emmett Martin III, Desmond Mills Jr., and Justin Smith.